Okay, so today's question is from Steph from the Daily Goal Getter, and she's asking, how the heck do you organize a blog when you've got so many topics? I've settled for 4, but I also want people to know that they can select other stuff. At the moment, this is communicated through tags, but they are hard to see. Basically, what Steph is asking is what to do if you have a lot of categories, a lot of tags on your blog, how to present them the best way so the users see them and explore your content. For me to answer this question, I would use Steph's website as an example. So this is her website, and it's about setting goals. You can select, in the navigation menu, you can select between different topics, as she mentions in her question, health, wealth, self-goals. But apparently there is more to this. So how to present it to the users so they can see this information as well. First, I would like to take a step back and look at this part of the website as a whole. What I'm missing here is a sentence that actually explains what this website is about. When you read the Daily Goal Getter, it's actually, when you then think about it, maybe when you've read some posts, you can understand, okay, it's about getting your goals. But at the very second, the very moment you land on the website, it's not clear. How it's important to this question. When the user lands on your website, they don't think, oh, let's see what categories this person has. They think, what can I find here? And when they understood the broader topic, could I find this or that? This would be their thinking. Or where can I find this or that? So to help them to understand what they can find here, I would suggest to put a sentence that explains what this website is about. I know Steph's website a bit, and she used to have a tagline over here instead of the free course, but it's also too late. So I would suggest to put something here. As for the navigation, this is the first entry point where the users would decide, okay, is it something I'm interested in? This navigation or any navigation on the website, it's not perceived separately from the website. It's perceived in the context. So right now, because there is no tagline, it just says goal getter, it's a good idea to say health goals, wealth goals, because you don't understand. If it just said health or wealth, it would be a bit unclear. But to make the navigation more concise, to make it more stand out, I would suggest the following. Abracadabra, simsalabim. Okay, now let's look at the changed version and imagine we just landed on this website, okay? Okay, the first thing we see is the daily goal getter doesn't say 100% what Steph wants to communicate. That's why we need a tagline that explicitly says what people will find on this website. And this tagline helps us to improve the navigation. Okay, now this word goals from health goals, wealth goals, self goals can be removed and free the space for the navigation labels to be separated with more white space, and also be the way that the users will scheme it easier. We remove this repetitive word goals, and now users need less effort, less memory to, to distinguish between things and process things. I also changed goal setting was this label to how to set goals. Once again, to make it more descriptive and specific, because goal setting, okay, if you think about it for a second, half a second, you would understand what this is about, but you would like to save your users time on friction if you can, on thinking. Things on your website need to be processed as fast as possible. So I would say how to set goals is better in this regard than goal setting. Another thing I changed, and I think it's actually important change, is the label that I used to say meet Steph to a very familiar label about that doesn't need any processing. 2 reasons. First, this is not a solopreneur's website where you see the photo of the person right above the fold, and you know, okay, there is a person, they're called Steph, let's say, and if you see navigation meet Steph, you know, okay, this is about that person. But this website, one doesn't know, is it an agency website? Is it how many people run this website? How are these people called? So while the navigation talks about goals and about different categories, suddenly Steph comes in, and people would wonder, who is Steph? Why is this suddenly about Steph? And you know, it causes friction, it may cause irritation and uncertainty, and you don't want these feelings when it's about, you know, clicking and taking action. So when you put such a simple label about, this is also something your users will be looking for in the navigation, okay? So why is it important to do this before I answer, or why is this a part of my answer to the category question? You need to let people understand first to where they can dive in, okay? So first, for them to have this urge or motivation to explore more, the precondition for that is for them to understand what the website does. The second condition would be for them to have clearly labeled doors where they can enter your website. And I would say this navigation does it a bit better. Let's click on one of the links and see what it is, what Steph means that she has categories and tags. I would go back to her original website and I would click, let's say, self goals. Okay, so we land on the page, and this is a page about self goals. And what Steph means with her question is she also has tags here. This is a category, these are tags, and they are right now not really prominent. The users, they don't even look like links. The users probably miss them. So what to do? Okay, once again, I still am not giving the final answer because there are a couple of things that need to be sorted out. Before you decide how you present your categories and tags, you need to make sure you structured or organized your content, categorized it and tagged it correctly. Another thing that people often get wrong, that they try to use as many tags as possible. Somehow there is this association between SEO and tagging, that you know you put a tag that is kind of a keyword and that it's better for the SEO. It's not for many reasons. You need to create categories, only as many as you really need, and make sure that they don't overlap, and then you have enough posts in each category. I looked at another categories on Steph's website, and I think in one category there was 3 posts. This is actually the biggest category where you actually already go to the second page. But when I look at tags, there are barely tags that are repeating. If you have something, if you tagged something and no other post is getting this tag, don't tag it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. What this tagging and categorizing will do on your website, as soon as you create a new category or a tag, a page will be created. Where, like this, for example, this is an automatically created page that will also rank in search. And if you say you have a topic of self-improvement or whatever, and then this page contains snippets of text and they may have keywords for self-improvement, it will rank, it may rank in search for corresponding keywords. So this is something important, but you cannot misuse it by assigning one post to 3 categories, by having a category for just 3 posts, by having tags individually for the post, that you have a tag and you have only one post there. This is counterproductive. I will leave a link in the description to a good article from Yoast SEO, or I don't know how they're pronounced, Yoast, where they talk about it in detail, okay, how to categorize and tag your posts, that it's useful for you and for users. So my first observation here would be less tagging. So that actually makes sense then to explore tags individually, because if I click on a tag and I land on a page with only one post, that doesn't make sense. But okay, first, category page. So my first suggestion here would be to make sure that your users understand that this is a page for a category, and then to give them other option to explore this category in depth. Let's take it step by step. First, let's mark, let's put some markings on this page so it's clear it's the self category, okay? Okay, this is what I mean approximately. The design may vary, but it's a self-improvement. And here comes some text where you explain what kind of tips people can find here. This is the minimum you can do, and this you can also do without any coding skills or anything. In WordPress, when you go to posts and then categories in your dashboard, when you create a new category or you can add it to your existing category, You just need to fill the field description with this description here, and it will appear on the page. So this doesn't need any specific coding skills to be implemented. Okay, so we start solving this problem. Already the user knows, okay, I'm on the self-improvement page, and I can, okay, the posts that I see here are about self-improvement. But okay, this doesn't solve the problem of exploring more content. What I suggest to do here, if you can, is to add a search box over here. Although Steph has this icon that users can click and then search the site, it's not very prominent at this point. And I always like to give users the information they may be looking for based on their current task. And if somebody is already browsing your categories, you can be sure they're looking for something. So if you can do some coding or ask somebody to code it, you can add a search box to the category page. I have it on my blog page, for example, or we can just add it here on the page of Steph. So this is already a good idea, not a must, but a good idea and helpful. But okay, let's go to our tags. How do we present tags here? I would suggest to display tags right beneath here as well, to make them look like buttons and to make them more visually prominent. Ta-da! I added one sentence here as well to the description. You can phrase it a bit nicer, it's a bit straightforward, but I just wanted to say what I think this should mean. No? So you say, okay, this is the posts, this is the tips you will find on this page. Now, and then you tell your users what they can do now. You can select a tag, click on the tags below to browse a specific topic, or just keep scrolling. So, and this is how you display your categories. To implement this, you would need coding skills. Unfortunately, I can't think of out-of-the-box WordPress solution that will let you do this by drag and dropping things without really writing some PHP code for your theme. But this is actually what I would suggest. You have a category and you have a tag, you have tags, no? And this should be displayed on the top, not like this, because nobody will find it here. But this way, when you display them on the top, the users can easily find the content they're looking for. Okay, let's see what happens if we select one of the tags. I have another important suggestion to make regarding this. Just to compare, before, if someone goes and opens a tag page, this is the side. Here we have the situation where only one post belongs to a tag page. Once again, people have no idea where they are, what kind of page is that. Maybe they clicked on it, went, got coffee, came back, no idea where I am, where am I. So we need to do about something about this as well. So what I suggest is, when somebody selects a tag, this you can do even if you don't implement these fancy tags, whatever, is to show them where they landed, exactly the way we did with categories. This can also be done in WordPress without code skills. You just need to add the description for the tag. But important addition that I think Steph needs to consider is, this is called breadcrumbs. I don't know why it's called like this. It's neither bread nor crumbs. I don't know. Anyways, I would suggest adding this line that shows the users where they came from and gives an opportunity to go back. Okay, so if they would like to return to the category self-improvement, they can just click here. Okay, and they also know, okay, productivity actually belongs to self-improvement, and this kind of mental connection, this keeps the context alive. It's very important to keep the context alive so that they can understand, okay, where else can I go, what else can I explore. So they may get distracted and then forget, and then, oh, I don't remember what this was about, I don't need this website, I would go do something else. Okay, so just to recap, how should one organize the information on the website when one has a lot of categories and tags, was the question from Steph. My suggestions to that would be, number one, before you're solving a particular problem for your website, think about what other information would your visitors need before this problem is even something of their concern. Because if they, for example, don't understand what your website is about, they don't care about your categories, tags, and whatever. So first you need to uh, fulfill the preconditions of this problem being a problem at all for your users. Clear website tagline, clear and descriptive navigation labels. It's a must for every website, okay? Then when you look at your specific problem, in this case, categories and tags, once again, another step back and you're asking yourself, did I organize my content properly? How many categories do I have? Do they overlap? Do I have posts in multiple categories? Do I have tags where only one post is tagged with the tag? Because this doesn't make any sense. So first you need to sort that out. And only then, number 3, you think about how do I present this to my users, okay? So they already know what my website is about. They're excited to explore more content. Now I just need to give them this opportunity. An absolute must is a name for the category so they never feel lost on the page. Every page should have some kind of title, some kind of indication where they are, what this page is about. So in this case, give your categories a name, give them a description. This is also helpful for SEO, and if you're doing SEO, make sure you include the keywords, in the description. With the tags, I'm not that keen on plugins, I must say, so I don't know, maybe there is some kind of plugin, maybe you can look into this. But I code myself, so I would just insert a couple of lines of code that I would get tags displayed in the category pages like this. And then again, when somebody clicks on your tag, again, make sure that they know where they are. This is again the minimum. And this can be done with plugin, by the way, that the navigation is displayed. Where can they go? Where did they come from? Where can they go? I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, you can find me on jillandrews.com.